You know the feeling, right? You've just come out of this incredible strategy session, the ideas are just flowing, everyone's on board. But then a few months later, poof, the energy is gone and nothing has really changed. So today, we're going to dig into why that happens and, more importantly, how you can build that bridge from brilliant ideas to actual, tangible results. I mean, picture it. You're wrapping up this amazing planning retreat. The energy in the room is electric. Your team is totally aligned on these big priorities. Things like improving academic outcomes or boosting enrollment. Everything just feels possible. And then, boom, reality hits. You fast forward a few months and that awesome momentum has just completely vanished. Yeah, people are busy, but there's no real movement on the big stuff. You find yourselves having the same conversations in meetings, and all that clarity has just turned into fog. So what on earth happened? Well, you've just fallen into the classic strategy execution gap. It's this super frustrating void between having a great plan and actually making it happen. And honestly, it's one of the biggest reasons why so many incredible strategies just fizzle out. So let's really unpack this story of a stalled plan, because it's a cautionary tale that so many of us have lived through. The problem usually isn't the vision itself. The source material for this explainer calls it a weak execution architecture. Basically, the scaffolding to support the plan just isn't there. And what's really wild is how predictably this whole thing unfolds, right? In Q1, the plan is ambitious, everyone's patting each other on the back, the board is impressed. By Q2, progress reports get kind of fuzzy, oh, we're making headway, and you can feel the momentum just slipping away. And by Q3, forget about it. The plan is basically on life support, and disappointment is the main vibe in the room. Sound familiar? Okay, so that's the problem. Let's talk about the solution. First, we have to get really clear on what execution actually means. It's so much more than just being busy or, doing things. It's a genuine, deliberate discipline. And here is a really powerful way to think about it. Execution is the discipline of turning your intention into measurable movement. It's not a vague hope or a nice idea. It is the solid, structured bridge that actually connects that amazing vision you have to results you can see, count, and celebrate. So how do we build that bridge? Well, it all starts by answering these 5 incredibly simple but absolutely critical questions. Think of these as the pillars holding up your bridge. What are we trying to achieve forces you to get crystal clear. What will we do gets you from abstract to action. Who is responsible? So important, it kills ambiguity. By when creates that sense of urgency. And finally, how will we know demands actual evidence. Without solid answers to these, your strategy is really just a bunch of hopeful language. Now, to help us answer those questions in a systematic way, we're going to use a framework called the 6 lenses. Seriously, think of this as your go-to toolkit for building a plan that is designed for movement right from the get-go. We're going to walk through each of these: the goal lens, the initiative lens, the ownership lens, timelines, metrics, and the super important review rhythm lens. Put them all together and you have a complete architecture for execution. Let's kick it off with the goal lens. Okay, the goal lens is all about this transformation you see here. Improve parent satisfaction sounds great, but how do you do that? You can't really execute on a feeling, but improve parent satisfaction scores from 72% to 85% by the end of the academic year. Now that is a target. It's specific, it's measurable, it has a deadline. It turns a vague wish into something you can actually work on. So once you've got that clear goal, the initiative lens makes you ask, okay, so what are we actually going to do to hit that number? And these aren't just random activities on a to-do list. They are specific, high-impact projects. You have to be able to draw a straight line from each initiative back to the goal. Redesigning the admissions tour, that directly impacts how their family enrolls. Strengthening follow-up, that stops leads from going cold. See? Every action has a purpose. All right, I need you to lean in for this one, because this lens right here, this is where most plans quietly start to die. We're talking about ownership, because without it, even the most brilliant plan is doomed to fail. This quote from the source material just hits the nail on the head. A plan without ownership is a wish. It's just this idea floating around in the ether with no one tasked to grab it and make it real. And here's the crucial point. You can't assign ownership to the leadership team. That doesn't work, because when everyone is responsible, no one is truly responsible. Each and every initiative needs one single person's name next to it, one person who is answerable for its movement. Now, this doesn't mean they do all the work, but they are the one person who drives it forward and can answer for its progress.
Okay, on to our final two lenses, and these are all about building accountability and creating unstoppable momentum. We're going to look at how you make progress visible with metrics and how you keep it all on track with a consistent review rhythm. The metrics lens is so important because what doesn't get measured just gets assumed. Having a few simple, meaningful metrics takes you from saying, yeah, I think we're doing better, to here is the undeniable evidence of our progress. It just makes everything visible and tells you honestly if what you're doing is actually working.
And finally, execution demands a regular, non-negotiable review rhythm. And this is not just about asking people, hey, is it done yet? No. The whole point of these check-ins is active, real-time problem solving. By consistently asking what's moving, what's stuck, and what support is needed, you turn your meetings from boring status updates into powerful engines for progress. The focus shifts from just reporting on the past to actively clearing roadblocks for the future.
So as we start to pull all of this together, the big takeaway here is that execution isn't some magical personality trait. It's not like some leaders are just born with it and others aren't. Not at all. It is a learnable discipline. It's about building the machinery for movement.
So, what do people who are great at this consistently do? Well, they simplify things into clear goals. They assign named owners. They create realistic deadlines. They track a few key metrics. They review progress like clockwork. And they are obsessed with removing blockers early. They build a system that keeps the work moving long after that initial retreat excitement has worn off.
And let's just be perfectly, absolutely clear on this. Talking about a great idea, that is not execution. Writing it all down in a beautiful 20-page document, also not execution. Announcing it with fanfare at a big staff meeting, still not execution. Those are all good starting points. But true execution requires the structure, the architecture we've been talking about.
And when you really get this right, you create this powerful shift inside your organization. You move from these broad, fuzzy intentions to crystal clear goals. You go from scattered, frantic activity to focused strategic initiatives. And this is the big one. You shift from hopeful assumptions to visible, undeniable evidence of progress.
So I'll leave you with this one question to think about. It's relatively easy to set a direction. That's the fun part of strategy. But the real test of leadership is everything that comes next. So have you built the machinery, the goals, the owners, the metrics, and the rhythm to make sure that your vision actually goes somewhere?